What's going on YouTube? So here I am with my Hyperspin attraction drive, uh, basically tweaking up this area here. So I've got PlayStation Network, and this is my original setup. So PlayStation Network, I'll click on that, it'll open up the PS3 emulator, and these are all my PSN games in here. So then from there I can just choose whatever game I want. But I wanted to make it more where you just selected the game through Hyperspin as opposed to Hyperspin triggering the emulator and then from there you selecting the game. So I redid it right below it, the same exact logo. I'm going to block this one out once I'm done. So this is the new one. I'll click here, and I have some games already added. So I've got NBA Jam, I've got Street Fighter, Turtles, 1942, Bionic Commando, Castle of Illusion, DuckTales, Frogger, Mortal Kombat, and NBA Jam. So just a handful of games while I test this out. So currently it is working. So I'll pick, I guess, any game. Let's do Street Fighter. And it'll start it up. I'll just do another game. Let's do Castle of Illusion. So if it's the first time you're running the game, it's going to take maybe like 30 seconds while it caches everything. But I've already started all these games, so it's fairly quick. So how did I do this? Let me see. Alright, so the first thing I had to do was I had to create a config file for the system, for that PSN system. Once I did that, I had to add it to the a track wheel, which I did right here. I had to create a ROM list. Here's the ROM list with all the games currently that I have on there. And then I had to create a batch file for each one of the games. So this is basically what the batch file looks like. It just starts up the emulator, exe, so rpcs3.exe. I don't want a GUI, I just wanted to start up full screen, and then I tell it the game that I want it to start up. So start the emulator, no interface, and then start this game. And I'll just create a batch file for that. Let me see if I can show you where they're at. So in this case, it's in the D drive, collections, Sony PlayStation 3N. That's just what I called it. And then the ROMs are just basically batch files. And they all pretty much look the same, except only thing that changes is this here, the ID for the game. So other than that, every batch file looks the same, except the ID changes. And you can trigger the games off of these batch files. So let's do Mortal Kombat. There you go. So I just had to create a config file that tells it to look for the BAT extensions. Let me show you what that looks like. Those are stored in where are those stored? Emulators. So arcade emulators, and then I'll scroll down. Sony right here, and that's what it looks like. So it's basically telling it the ROM path of where the BAT files are located, and basically this is all I'm using. I'm not using any links, because the links for some reason don't work. I can start up the emulator, right click on the game, and create a shortcut, but the shortcuts are not being detected, so batch files are. So I have to create a separate batch file for every game. Other than that, I just tell it where the snap and the wheel logo art is, and it detects it. So I still have a bunch of games more to do, probably like 40-50 more games, but other than that, it's working. And then I also have a couple of snap videos missing. So for Frogger, I'm missing Frogger, Mortal Kombat I got, NBA I got, Street Fighter, Turtles I got, I'm missing 1942, I'm missing Bionic Commando, and Frogger. Those are the last three I just added. Other than that, everything's working. If you have any questions or need any assistance, just let me know.